Singularity is a brand new original IP. It's being developed by Raven Software out in Madison, Wisconsin. This is a concept that they've been wanting to do for quite some time. So the two co-founders of the company, Brian and Steve Raffel, they've always been into like conspiracy storylines and science fiction, and they actually had an old military base back in Wisconsin near where they lived. They always wondered what it would be like kind of exploring that base. So that was some of the inspiration that made them come up with this concept. So it's basically a conspiracy storyline that revolves around a 1950s Cold War experiment that's gone wrong.
Time warping has a bit of a bad rap among gamers because there's been a few attempts to do it. How is it different in Singularity than say from other games that have tried it?
Well, the one big difference in Singularity is that we use time as a weapon. You're able to actually age objects, so it's not like what you've seen in past games. It's very unique. We're not stopping time or reversing time or basically doing like slow motion. What you can do is you can actually affect objects in time. So I can age something forward, I can age it in reverse. So it's very different than what you've actually seen before. So we're not affecting sort of time as a whole, but we're affecting different objects and where they stand in time. So for example, if there's an enemy hiding behind cover, I can age that cover forward and I can bring it down, I can disintegrate it, and then I can switch to a conventional weapon and I can shoot him. Or I can use the stasis element of the time manipulation device, or TMD as we call it, and I can grab a rocket out of the air that may be flying, I can hold it in time stasis, and then I can impulse push it back at my enemies. So it's that using time as a weapon rather than slow motion or reversing or doing time warp kind of stuff. The TMD that you wear on your left hand, it actually has a certain limited power supply. So you can't just run through the game and say age every single enemy, because you can age enemies forward, they disintegrate, they turn to dust. If you decide to do that, your TMD is going to be out of power for a short period of time, and you're going to have to switch back to conventional weapons, and then you're also going to lose your ability to, say, age their cover or grab objects out of space. So you got to be very strategic in how you use that.
Is there like puzzle elements to the time as well?
Yeah, definitely. Puzzles are a big thing for us. I mean, we like to think of this as a thinking man shooter. So in addition to your standard combat, which we see an ability to use time as a weapon, puzzles are very centric to this game. So you're going to be trying to solve puzzles, multi-stage puzzles, very simple. Say, you can't advance in a level because it looks like there's a wall in front of you. It's one thing that we showed in the demo. You can actually age that wall forward, it disintegrates. You get to the other side of it, you turn around, it actually turns out it's a staircase. You can then revert that and then walk up the staircase. That's just a very, very simple example. But we have multi-stage puzzles. We're using machinery, traveling back and forth between two different time states, so you can affect things that then change things in the future. So puzzles are a big element for us.
All right. Sounds exciting. Could you take us a little bit and talk a little bit in depth about the main character and what his motivations are?
Right. So you play Nate Renko. He's actually a co-pilot on an American spy plane. And the Russians had tried to cover up this island. They didn't want anybody to know that they were doing experimentation there, and the terrible accident that happened when they were experimenting with Element 99. So you actually are doing overflights of the island, and your plane gets brought down under mysterious circumstances. So you're thrust into the middle of this conspiracy. So you're trying to figure out, well, what were the Russians doing on this base in the 1950s, and how does that affect life in the present day in 2010. So you're going to be rocketed back and forth between the 1950s and 2010, trying to unravel this mystery and figure it all out.
Have you set a date for Singularity yet?
We aren't talking specific dates, but it's coming out this fall.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.